Hey guys, Hounddoomed here, coming at you once again with another episode of Pokémon Black 2. On the last episode, we took down the Humilo Gym and its leader Marlon, and on this episode we're going to be heading west out of Humilo City onto Route 22, I think it's 22. If I can actually get through the blockages here. Come on. There we go. So yeah, there's nothing too interesting on this episode. We're going to meet a new legendary Pokemon, spoilers, and we're going to be heading into the Giant Chasm, although not really. We're going to be going into the Giant Chasm, but not really to do very much, because actually that's a wrong Pokemon to lead with. Yeah, there's some new Pokemon we can find in there, but we can go in there to find the Pokemon, but not really do much else. So I just thought we may as well go in there just to cover the Pokemon, since if you want one then you may as well get it there. Our matter will surely be worth a page in the book of your journey. I doubt it. Maybe a sentence. Shell. Interesting name. So he has a Starmie, hence why I didn't want to lead with Conquer. Right, although this thing probably doesn't have any Psychic type moves or Water type moves, so I don't remember what this thing has, but it doesn't have anything too fantastic. Because usually the Pokemon that you just kind of randomly meet, if they evolve with a stone, they'll usually just have their level 1 moves. Or whatever other moves they learn. And in Starmie's case, that's not very much. What else do we have? A Drapion. Okay. Let's see. Let's go into Ignite here. Could have gone into Hieroglyph, but that dark type is not nice. Could do with a ground type move. I don't have any ground type moves. It's very strange. I usually have at least one. I have what's his face? Scary face. I have Krusty Krab with Dig, but frankly, I need for this thing you need a special ground type move. Otherwise, it's just easier to hit it with your best, I don't know, move that's not resisted, like fire or something. Okay, if only I could have won, I would have been able to make an impression on you. Not really, I would have had to have gone back to the Pokemon Center and run all that way back again. And that would not have been fun, let me tell you. Alright, so Hieroglyph can lead, that's fine. So there is one new Pokemon you can find here. I may as well fight this. However, there isn't much point me covering it because it's also available in the Giant Chasm, so I may as well just cover it there as well. That Pokemon is Delibird, so it's not exactly like we're missing much, but yeah, you know. So there's an Ordino here, why not? Just about a 2-hit KO, I think. So, what can we talk about? Oh! A fairly big thing that's happened recently, well to YouTube anyway, is the new comment system. What do you guys think of it? I personally despise it because it means that you are forced to have a Google Plus account, and then you don't have an inbox on YouTube. You can't see, whenever it says in reply to someone, you can't see that previous comment. You can't. There's so many things you can't do, and they're making you do all of it through Google Plus, and it's like, well, what's the point? Just have it as two separate websites. Just there's not much point forcing it on us. We should have the choice, you know. So anyway, this girl has a Vanillite. We haven't seen one of those before. Ice type Pokemon, not very strong at all, but we'll be able to find its evolved form very soon. And here's another new Pokemon. It is Bouffalant, a normal type. Nothing too special here, but this is going to hurt. Ouch. This Drain Punch will get me nice back up to, well, kind of full health. Almost, I think. There we go, and up to 45, I reckon. Yep. Alright, cool. Well done, Conker. Trying to learn Hammer Arm. Nope. Could have done with that before, but I don't need it now. I have Drain Punch. I don't stand a chance if I fight while I'm lost. Yeah, you don't, I guess. Anyway, oh god. Hello, Amoonguss. So there are Amoonguss here. if you really cared. I mean, it's not exactly like you need an Amoonguss at this point. However, it's fairly high leveled, so if you did need an emergency grass type for the Humalo gym, feel free. Amoonguss is there, you know. There's a PP up right there. Amoonguss is still... Whoa, hello. Amoonguss is still not very good. However, you may as well get it if you like. I mean, it's nothing too special. Anyway, so there's a green shard right there. I'm going to go back and fight that hiker in just a second. I don't care about that Ordino. So there's a Pokemon breeder here, but this is in a really out of the way place, so you don't have to worry so much. We just got to do what we can. I guess so. Alright, so Addison here has a Camerupt. Interesting. I'm leading with the wrong Pokemon here. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Let's use Psychic. So, yeah, recapping that stupid... I hate the new comment system. I know that there's a petition going around that has all these signatures to try and get Google to change it, because if it's not broken, don't fix it. Like, seriously, it wasn't broken as it was. People were happy the way it was, you know. I don't understand what the point of changing it was. It made no sense. So they changed it without really bothering to ask us, because they've essentially been trying to get you to do that update for ages and link your Google Plus up to your YouTube account, which is sometimes quite useful, but when you don't use Google Plus and it just takes up space, it's just frustrating. I don't like Google Plus and it being forced on me. Like, I had to make a Google Plus account when I made my YouTube account, but you know, I don't really like it being forced on me. Just, I don't know, it's stupid. Rant over. Let me know what you guys think, if you can actually comment, because if you don't have a Google Plus account, or you don't have it linked up to your account, like I do, I don't have my Google Plus account linked up to this current account, then you can't comment on anything, like at all. You have to comment through Google Plus, or else you just can't comment on anything, which is a major flaw. Major flaw. Fair enough having your inbox in Google Plus, I mean whatever, you can deal with that, but you can't comment on anything if you don't have Google Plus. That is insanity. Anyway, so there's a poison barb right there. What do we have here? A soul rock. Okay, don't need that. I'm still... Oh, no, I guess I'm not leading with the wrong Pokemon. Oh wait, no, yes I am. No, wait, no. No, it's fine. I'm fine. There's a hiker there, and I was thinking about that. So yeah, let's just grab that item and then fight that guy. A rare candy, nice. And what do we have here? Golduck, okay. Again, fairly respectable levels going on here. I mean, I am relatively underleveled at this point, as I mentioned in the last episode. I think I will actually do some training before the next episode, and just level me up to say 48, 49, that kind of area, because I'm very underleveled at this point. So yeah, that needs changing. But yeah, I don't know. I hope... Oh, that was a wrong move. I hope Google change all of this YouTube rubbish. I hope that they actually listen to all the signatures, because I'm sure they'll get enough. Right, use the move I originally planned to use. It wouldn't have mattered anyway because it's sturdy, but even so. A Steelix, eh? Alright, let's go into Ignite. Big snake. Alright, let's Lava Plume. Sturdy. Okay, or not. I'm glad. Saves me an extra power point. Up to level 46. And that's it. I thought you had 3 Pokemon. Never mind. Okay, so let's go see what that wild Pokemon standing there was about. Who do I want to use? Conquer. Can tank physical hits for days. As can Krusty Krab actually, but Krusty Krab won't do so well against this thing. Alright, so The one radiating such a tremendous presence before you is none other than Terrakion. Who's this? Oh! Oh, hello, Internet Explorer here. I haven't seen you for ages. That's right, it's been a long time. Terrakion is one of the 3 Pokémon who protected Pokémon from the flames of a human conflict. It seems likely that Terrakion has picked up the scent of danger that emanates from Team Plasma. It's probably seeking a Pokémon trainer who has the strength to stand up to them. It's very interesting indeed that Terrakion appeared before you. That aside, do you plan to confront Team Plasma? Of course. I see, if that's the case, you must have the power to protect your own Pokémon. Being protected by Pokémon alone doesn't make you a trainer. It's because trainers are strong, because they care about their Pokémon, that these Pokémon can also be strong. Here, this is from me. Right, what is it? It looks like a telephone. Colorist machine, okay. This is a prototype of my device that energizes Pokémon. It doesn't work on battling Pokémon, but you may find it useful for something. Well then, I wish you and your Pokémon a safe journey. Now that I think about it, in the seaside cave on Route 21, I saw something that reminded me of when we met on Route 4. We met in Castalia City there. By Internet Explorer here, I don't know where you're going, but see you again sometime, probably. Alright, so, yeah, this is Terrakion. The final one of the, well, okay, not final, but the third of the Musketeer Quartet. So, yeah, just kind of chilling here. I don't know why they picked here as a place for it to go, but they picked really random places for the legendaries to go. I don't know why they chose such weird places, but anyway. So, yeah, this is Terrakion. So here we go. Go! So this is Terrakion, a rock fighting type Pokemon. Interesting typing. I think it's a unique type. So Terrakion is an interesting Pokemon. It is one of the best Pokemon in the game. There's no questions about that. Again, you can do what you did. You can do with Terrakion what you did with Virizion and Cobalion. Just fight it, kill it, and then take it on again once you have beaten the Elite Four, and it will be level 65. Save you some training, unless you plan to use it. If you do plan to use it, you have one hell of a Pokemon on your team. This thing is very powerful. It has a very high physical attack stat at base 129. It also has fairly respectable defensive stats of base 90 each, and then 92 in HP. Now that may seem quite impressive. However, do bear in mind the fact that it is a rock type and also fighting, so it is weak to some very common types, such as grass, water, and psychic. So, and fighting as well. Stupid Amigos. So, yeah, it's not as amazing as you'd hope in the defensive department, anyway. However, offensively, this thing is a beast. It has a very high physical attack stat. It is also, despite how it looks, it is super zippy. It has a base 108 speed stat, which is very high. It's the same as the other Musketeers, but anyway, it is a great Pokemon. It has great stats. It has a bit of a lacking move pool, but considering the stabs it has, it doesn't really need it. Because rock fighting has phenomenal coverage together. Yeah, I mean, it can also learn Swords Dance, as well as also, of course, Work Up. It can also learn Sacred Sword for a very good fighting type move, as well as also Rock Slide and Stone Edge, of course. As well as that, it also has, yeah, it has Swords Dance and Rock Polish. I think I said that. So it can either boost its speed or boost its attack, whichever you think it's lacking in. I would probably say that Swords Dance is better for it because it is fast enough. But yeah, Terrakion is a fantastic Pokemon, comparable to Heracross in this game. If you want an extra kind of coverage move to give it, I would give it X-Scissor, as that gives it the best coverage along with its moves. However, there are a couple of other options like Earthquake or something. Just pick what you feel is best. But Terrakion is a 5-star Pokemon. No questions asked. It is amazing. So definitely consider it for a spot on your team, but if you don't, do the level 65 method and just knock it out. Like I've done. So anyway, Lowell here, just kind of breezing into this battle, has a Swine up, which we haven't seen before, Ice Ground type. Interesting, we're going to see it in just a second. And he also has a Darmanitan, so do watch out for this thing. Try and counter it with some kind of high defensive Pokemon, physically of course, not specially. And also, you know, just take it out with the good water, rock, ground type move. So, you know, whatever you want. So there's the Giant Chasm, but we'll explore that in just a second. Do watch out for this girl. I'm going to lead with Blu-ray here. Try and take this thing on. Try and lead with a special water type, preferably. Water is obviously the type that's going to be most common, specially, but if you have a special ground or rock type move, then do feel free to use it. Because this girl leads with a Arcanine, or an Arcanine. So yeah, and it also has Intimidate, I'm pretty sure, so yeah. Does it have Intimidate? It does. I don't know if that is random. I keep thinking that it possibly is random, but I'm not sure. So, Extreme Speed, don't like that. Wow, you took that very well. I'm surprised, Blu-ray. I need to give you the Scope Lens again. We're going to be getting the TM for Ice Beam fairly soon, so I don't need to keep Blizzard on you for that much longer. So I'll probably just replace you with the Scope Lens, as you'll have fairly good coverage with Water, Flying, Ice. So, and then Excadrill, eh? Let's see if we can take this thing out. Probably has Rock Slide, but we'll see. Yeah, alright. Sorry about that, Blu-ray. You did well against the Arcanine, though. Let us go into Conquer. Probably should have done this in the first place, but just wanted to see if it possibly had a... oh, hello, this is not good. Just wanted to see if it had Rock Slide. I knew it probably did, but I just wanted to make sure. Please take it out. Good. There we go. Alright. Cool. The eyes of your Pokemon are glimmering with strength. Okay, well, I didn't know that. Who do we want to lead with? Let's go with Hieroglyph. Why not? Alright, so we have a Max Potion. Interesting. Nothing too special going on there, but I always used to... I was going to try it. I always used to have a little challenge when I was going across looking through the hidden grottos, whether I could just run this entire thing. I've done it a couple of times, but it is kind of difficult. You know, that's another little challenge you can take yourself on this route. But anyway, after all of that winding around, there is a hidden grotto here. Nothing in here except a hidden item. Some mulch. I can't remember exactly what you find in here, but I know you find Amoonguss with Regenerator. I think you find Delibird in there, and maybe Corsola with Regenerator, but I can't remember exactly what's found in there. Apologies for that. It will be on an annotation in the video, so don't worry about that, as I don't have the notes on me right now. I want that! Give me that! That's Ice Beam. So, yeah, here's the Giant Chasm. But as you can see right here, you can't go any further, so you're out of luck. However, there are 4 new Pokemon you can find here, as well as also Delibird, which is, you know, kind of semi-new, as you can find it on Route 22. So, yeah. This episode is essentially just going to end in Humilo City. I'm going to fly back, and then, yeah, so we may as well just cover the Pokemon then. So, that's pretty much it for this episode. Just going to, as I said, fly back to Humilo. And on the next episode, we're going to be heading down onto Route 21 and heading into the Seaside Cave, as Internet Explorer Hare told us where we must go. Well, it's not really where we must go. He didn't, as such, say that, but he kind of hinted at it by saying, "Oh, you know, I found, you know, this happen in Seaside Cave." It's a bit of a hint to go there, I guess. Alright, so hello Pokemon. I'm going to do a smidge of training just off screen and get my Pokemon up to level 49 because, yeah, I feel like that's going to be a suitable level for them. I think 50 is a bit much, but I'll go 49. I could go 48. I don't know. I'll see what I feel like. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this episode. So until the next episode, I'll see you then, guys. The one new Pokemon you can find on Route 22 is Delibird. Delibird is an ice flying type and can have the abilities either Vital Spirit or Hustle with Insomnia as a hidden ability. Can be found on Route 22 as well as the Giant Chasm in Black 2 and White 2, and can be found as just only in the Giant Chasm in Black and White 1. When looking at Delibird's stats, you can see that they are very bad, having pathetic defences, pathetic offences, and is only kind of fast. It also can only learn Present unless you teach it TMs, and even then it only really learns Ice Beam and a couple of flying type moves. Delibird is not really worth using on any serious team, unfortunately, because it's such a cool Pokemon, no pun intended. It really is. I really like Delibird, but it is just awful. It's not worth using on a serious team because of its pathetic stats and pathetic move pool, really. So Delibird will get 1 star. One of the new Pokemon you can find in the Giant Chasm is Piloswine. Piloswine is an ice ground type and can have the abilities either Oblivious or Snowcloak with Thick Fat as a hidden ability. Can only be found in the Giant Chasm in all 4 games. When looking at Piloswine's stats, you can see that it's got a good physical attack stat, base 100, and pretty much matched HP. It also has good physical defense, but the rest of its stats are pretty low. To evolve it into a Mamoswine, you're going to have to level it up when it's learned Ancient Power, which it learns at level 1. So you're going to want to teach it through the Reminder Girl using Heart Scale. Once you've done that and then leveled it up, it will evolve into Mamoswine, which can be found in the Giant Chasm but only in the Shaking Grass. When looking at Mamoswine's stats, you can see that its physical attack is really increasing, having that massive base 130, which is really high. It also has better HP, getting base 110, which is very high still. Its physical defense is stayed the same, and its special attack and special defense are still quite low. However, its speed is increased by quite a lot, and despite how slow Mamoswine may look, Mamoswine is actually pretty damn fast. Obviously that's not a huge speed stat, but it is pretty fast for a Pokemon like it. Mamoswine can also learn the obligatory Ice type moves as well as also Earthquake as well. It can also learn Superpower if you wish to teach that. As well as that, it can also learn Rock Slide and Stone Edge, but it doesn't really learn much else. Mamoswine would easily be 5-star material, except for one small little problem. Mamoswine is victim to one of the many Pokemon who really don't have a physical Ice type move. The best Mamoswine has is Ice Fang. Unless you breed with a Beartic and get Icicle Crash, Mamoswine struggles a lot because its 2 best Ice type moves, Icicle Spear and Icicle Crash, are both gotten through egg moves. It has Ice Shard, but that's not really a very good move to have as a primary stab option. It's good for a kind of a priority move, just kind of to store away in your 4th slot, but Mamoswine struggles without that move. Ice Fang is okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's good. But yeah, Mamoswine is a fantastic Pokemon and is well worth considering. One of the better Ice types in the game, and its ground type really helps it. Mamoswine will be getting 4.5 stars. Another new Pokemon you can find in the Giant Chasm is Sneasel. Sneasel is a dark Ice type and can have the abilities either Inner Focus or Keen Eye with Pickpocket as a hidden ability. Can be found in the Giant Chasm in all 4 games, as well as the hidden grotto there in Black 2 and White 2. When looking at Sneasel's stats, you can see that it's clearly meant to be a physical attacker, having pretty good physical attack, as well as also blazing speed, but is unfortunately quite weak defensively, particularly with that fire weakness as well as also the quad weakness to fighting. It also has pretty low special attack as well, but it doesn't really need it. To evolve it into a Weavile, you're going to have to equip a Razor Claw to it and then level it up at night time. But when you've done so, it will evolve into Weavile. Both of its abilities, Keen Eye and the other one, Inner Focus, will both turn into Pressure, which is an okay ability for it, but you don't really want Weavile to be hit that often. But when looking at Weavile's stats, you can see that its physical attack has increased dramatically up to base 120, which is very high, and is also even faster, being base 125, so it's going to be outspeeding a lot of different things. Unfortunately, defensively it is still weak, particularly with that fighting weakness. But when looking at Weavile overall, it's a pretty good Pokemon. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. The Dark and Ice work well together, offensively that is. Ice has always been a great type offensively, and Weavile can use Ice Punch and do some devastating damage to most Pokemon. It can also learn some fighting type moves such as Low Kick and Brick Break if you so desire. That's a pretty good move to have for it, either one, because it will give it the much needed fighting type coverage that it really could use, because obviously Dark Fighting is unresisted by everything except Heracross and Toxicroak. So yeah, and then also the Ice will hit them neutrally, so everything's all good. But yeah, and it can also learn Sword Stance as well, which is another good move for it. As it will be blazing fast as is, and then it can increase its physical attack by even more. So yeah, Weavile's an interesting one. It's not amazing because of its defenses, but if this thing gets a turn to set up, it can easily sweep, no questions asked, particularly with that fighting type coverage as well. But I'm going to give Weavile 4 stars. Another new Pokemon you can find in the Giant Chasm is Vanillish. Vanillish is an Ice-type Pokemon and can have the abilities either Ice Body or Weak Armor as a hidden ability. Can be found in the Giant Chasm as well as also the Dragon Spiral Tower in winter, but only outside. And in Black and White 1 it can also be found in the Dragon Spiral Tower in winter only, and again only outside. When looking at Vanillish's stats, you can see that there's nothing particularly exciting there. It is very mediocre, but it has quite well-rounded stats. At level 47 it will evolve into Vanillux, which can be found again in the Giant Chasm, but only in the Shaking Grass I'm pretty sure, and also in the Dragon Spiral Tower in winter, again only in Shaking Grass. In Black and White 1 you're going to have to evolve Vanillish though. Vanillux has much better stats, having very good special attack, has also very respectable physical attack and special defense. It also has relatively good physical defense and speed as well, and Vanillux is quite well rounded. It's very similar to a water type Pokemon, usually having quite high special attack and then well rounded everything else. Vanillux is good, and would be very good considering it's an Ice type with pretty good stats. However, the problem is with most Gen 5 Pokemon is that it has a terrible move pool. It has absolutely nothing going for it at all. It can literally use an Ice type move and then Mirror Shot or Flash Cannon, which you can't even get Flash Cannon until after game in Black and White 2. And then also it gets Signal Beam, but that is it. It doesn't learn anything else. I'm pretty sure it can learn the Screens, which is a good move for it. It can also learn Acid Armor as well, which is another decent move for it. But Vanillux is good, but it is completely crippled by its useless move pool. And because of that, it's outclassed by pretty much all other Ice types in the game except possibly Delibird. But even Delibird has a better freaking move pool, which is quite embarrassing really. So Vanillux is good because of its stats, and that will save it, but its move pool is just disgraceful. So Vanillux will get 3 stars. The final new Pokemon you can find in the Giant Chasm is Clefairy. Clefairy is a normal type Pokemon and can have the abilities either Cute Charm or Magic Guard, with Friend Guard as a hidden ability. It can be found in the Giant Chasm in all 4 games, as well as also the Hidden Grotto there in Black 2 and White 2. When looking at Clefairy's stats, you can see that they're nothing special, having quite well-rounded stats, but nothing is particularly high. To evolve into a Clefable, you're going to have to use a Moonstone, but once you've done that, Friend Guard, which Clefairy had, will change into Unaware if you got the one with the hidden ability. But Clefable itself can be found in the Giant Chasm in all 4 games in the Shaking Grass. When looking at Clefable stats, you can see that again there's nothing particularly outstanding there. It's HP and special defense being the best, but they're not exactly in anything special. It also has no base stat over 100, which is quite depressing, really. However, Clefable stands out from most normal types because of Magic Guard. Magic Guard will mean that it won't take any damage that isn't... it won't take any kind of secondary damage. It won't take any damage from burn, poison, weather, life orb, or recoil. So how Clefable can usually work is that if you get yourself a life orb, which obviously is quite a lot of battle points, but it will work in your favour if you really want a Clefable. Clefable can then use it's tons and tons of moves, such as, well, I think it learns Hyper Voice, which is a good normal type move for it, or you can always teach it kind of Ice Beam, Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, Psychic. I think it learns Surf, maybe. I may be thinking of something else. It learns so many moves. It is obviously it's a normal type, so it can learn lots of different moves. But because of Magic Guard, you can also go physical with it, as Clefable does learn Double Edge. And Double Edge will mean that it won't take any recoil, plus you could also use a Life Orb to really power it up. So yeah, Clefable is quite diverse. It can be defensive as well, of course, with things like Wish, Soft Boiled, and the screens. But yeah, Clefable is an interesting one. It's very diverse, but it doesn't really excel at anything. It's kind of a jack of all trades, master of none, really, because it doesn't do anything spectacular, as most things outclass it, but it can do a lot of different jobs. So I don't know, Clefable's an interesting one. You may want to use it, you may not. It's kind of, it's a personal preference, really. But Clefable will get around about 3 stars.